Good afternoon, Knights. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jayna Manohalal, and today is Thursday, March 6th, 2025. Here's your Charge on Air update. The hit Broadway musical Hamilton is canceling their future shows at the John F. Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. The show was planned to be part of a 250th anniversary celebration for the Declaration of Independence. Unfortunately, it was pulled due to Trump's push to impose his ideologies on the Kennedy Center, which is known for its longtime inclusive and cultural values. The show's creator Lin-Manuel Miranda said the Kennedy Center was not created for this type of spirit, and Hamilton and its team will not be a part of it. In local news, it's Monorail Day over at Walt Disney World. The monorail serves as one of the most iconic symbols of Disney and was an original way to get around the parks. It's celebrated on March 6th because the company uses a fleet of monorail trains known as the Mark 6 model. UCF has reported 150 students with autism, but only 25% of those students have shared that they have autism when they start college. Reporter Bianca Lopez gives us a look at how UCF is setting up these students for success.
The UCF Center for Autism and Related Disabilities CARD is one of the 7 agencies in the state that supports an autistic person's entire lifespan. UCF was approved for a $1.25 million grant called Project ASD7 to fund 46 scholars to learn special education and speech-language pathology in autism. Dr. Daly, director of CARD, says that since the Department of Education hasn't been shut down yet, Project ASD7 will continue as if the funding will continue.
I have no idea. With all the funding that's coming through federal agencies right now, we're just proceeding as if the funding is going to continue until we hear that it's not going to continue. And I don't know the status of that grant at this point in time. They have not yet abolished the Department of Education.
But Dr. Daly specified that whether the funding gets cut or not, the courses will stay. The only thing that go would be the funding to pay for students' tuition. UCF and CARD are also working to open up more possibilities for autistic adults since the public transportation system in Orlando isn't the greatest. A group at UCF's College of Community Innovation and Education is going to test out virtual reality trainings to teach people with autism how to drive. Now on to Aubrey Wigan talking about her experience using the resources available for autistic students at UCF.
So the resources available here influence your decision in coming here?
Yes, because I like it here, and also I succeed better, and with the support of my family, I am more highly to pass college and get through college and get good grades. Right now I have straight A's. And
every year more babies with autism are being born, meaning that every year there's an increase of college students with autism, despite the shortage of teachers specialized to teach autistic students. In Orlando, Bianca Lopez, UCF, The Charge on Air.
More information is available at ucf-card.org. On Wednesday, the Office of Student Involvement celebrated its grand reopening. With its newly revamped office, students now have access to a bigger space for a variety of services. It's home to UCF Late Nights, Campus Activities Board, Nights of the Round Table, and more. OSI is dedicated to supporting student engagement and success. Late Nights Executive Director Megan Dever explains how this is going to impact her.
It was kind of like, I don't know if I want to see other people, but now that I actually can, I'm like, this is actually really nice. I feel like it really helps with collaborative efforts, and it's much more open and much more sunny in here, so there's a new life in this office that I really appreciate.
This expansion will help create more opportunities for involvement, leadership, and community building on campus. The Central Florida Fair is back for its 113th year. With it comes the Blockbuster Experience, an immersive experience allowing students to go back to their nostalgia era. Just like the 90s, visitors can scan through hundreds of classics like the Rocky Saga, Kill Blood, Good Will Hunting, and more. And if that wasn't enough, guests are also given the signature blue Blockbuster vest upon entry. Film major Lily DeMona says she has a fond childhood memory of going to the Blockbuster, which contributed to her love of film today.
It made me appreciate different kinds of media and physical appreciate physical film a lot too, which was really cool. And my dad showed me a lot of his favorite movies that have definitely affected me and me as a film major.
Before going back to the future, guests can take a seat in their mom's kitchen to watch some of their favorite films. The experience will be running until March 9th, so pick out a movie, get your popcorn popping, and get ready to have a blockbuster experience. This past Monday, UCF Children's Choir had their weekly rehearsal in preparation for their spring concert next month. The choir gives UCF music education students a chance to volunteer as a way to gain experience. Children in grades between 1st and 5th practice songs such as I Lift My Voice and Fireflies, as well as in-depth warm-ups. The choir also provides an outlet for children to express themselves. Riley Redding, a 4th grade student from DeBerry Elementary, says she's always loved singing since she was little.
Two more questions. Why do you love singing, if you have to say?
I love singing is because I saw on my uncle's little wall, it said, you don't sing to impress, you sing to inspire.
The UCF Children's Choir will be continuing to rehearse up until their spring concert, which is April 14th at the First United Methodist Church. One UCF student just launched a local spin on a popular web game. The Charge On Air reporter Grace Rodriguez tells us more about the impact that the game can have on the community.
If you keep up to date with the latest web games, there's a chance you know about GeoGuessr. The game is simple. It shows you a picture of anywhere in the world, and the object is to make your best guess as to where it is. One UCF student just released an independent version of the game specific to UCF's campus, known as UCF Guesser. Meet Kian Soltani, a senior biomedical sciences student who started the game as something to play with his friends.
I was just going to share this with my friends, but they've spread it with their friends, and it just keeps growing. It's been out for, I think, almost 2 weeks, and we have 2,000 users.
If you've played UCF Guesser this week, this is one of the locations you've probably seen on the game, but some locations aren't as easy to guess. The game, released late last month, cycles through different photos of campus areas each day. That means that no 2 days on UCF Guesser are the same, and some similar-looking places can be tricky, like parking lots and crosswalks. Soltani took these photos himself and has a form where students can submit their own photos of campus. Chait Rendu is an assistant professor in tourism, events, and attractions who spoke to the impact a game like this can have on educating new students about the school.
It'll be very helpful as a tool to help freshmen get to know, all of the resources available at UCF. And then I think for future students, especially parents, when they're coming to visit campus, a great way for them to know more about where it is going, right? What the environment is like, what are the resources, a nice learning tool.
The game sees 200 players each day, according to its analytics, and can be beneficial for students looking to familiarize themselves with the campus. As of right now, a Reddit post from February 24th on the UCF subreddit has nearly 300 upvotes and 50 comments, with a primarily positive reception. Soltani says he hopes the game can succeed after he graduates this semester.
Obviously, after this semester, I won't be able to get photos on campus. But hopefully, if the following's strong enough, people will submit photos and I could just keep updating the game easily. So who knows how long it'll last.
He's also considering sharing its coding with other schools across the country so they can start their own versions of the game. In Orlando, Grace Rodriguez, The Charge on Air.
Soltani says he made the game in just 4 days without any programming experience, using the help of GitHub Copilot. Now, yesterday, UCF CAB hosted the first ever brain rot competition in the student union. Charge on Air reporter Andrew Montana tells us more about the event.
Brain rot might be all in the mind, but yesterday it was found at the heart of UCF's campus in the Cape Florida Ballroom. The event had music for its attendance, wide-eyed visitors, and even some familiar faces. Night Nation's king of lactation, the Milk Maniac, kicked things off by introducing a special guest.
Simon Atkinson. He's going to do some slam poetry on milk. It doesn't matter if the glass is half full or half empty. I'm going to fill it to the brim till I have milk aplenty. 1 gallon ain't enough. Yeah, buddy, I need 20. I'm drinking so much milk that it sends me to a frenzy.
Event attendant David Guzmao spoke about how he felt not just calcium, but also appreciation in his bones.
I think it's just nice seeing how many people came together Like, I think that's the most I've ever seen people just come together for a random event. Just nice seeing everyone together on campus for something that's fun and not anything that's like super crazy serious.
Nevertheless, the focal point of the night was the brain rot video submissions, with 9 videos to choose from, and boy, were they rotten. Now, there were plenty of great submissions, but one stood out amongst the rest, the Baja Brain Rot Revelations. 3 of the brilliant minds behind the winning submission spoke about the preparation process behind the most rotten video of the night.
We were at a restaurant, we're all eating burgers, and a thought came to mind, like, hey, what if we made a Brain Rot video on Baja Blast?
Yeah, I think I grew as a person, you know. I'm a changed man after this video. Yeah, I think Ethan is too.
You know, many negative feelings. The positive ones would be nothing much, really. I just really didn't want to do that.
And although there is no official confirmation, rumor has it that last night's event might have a sequel due to popular demand. With an event that touched this many hearts, it seems like brain rot does, in fact, go beyond one's mind after all. In Orlando, Andrew Montana, The Charge on Air.
Thanks, Andrew. You know, I never did think I would be anchoring a webcast that had a story that was so deeply devoted to brain rot. And while the brain rot event might have a sequel, I'm hoping we don't have a sequel of today's wins. You may have heard it last night while you were sleeping, but winds have been at a consistency of about 20 miles an hour, with wind gusts up to 40, hence why my hair is pulled back. But anyways, today's high is 69 degrees with a low of 51, and when we look ahead to tomorrow, we're climbing up to the mid-70s and a low of 47 degrees with a 0% chance of rain. Now, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for now. Let's make sure to keep up with all that's happening here at UCF by following us at the Instagram @TheChargeNews. And check back here tomorrow for another news update. I'm Jayna Manohalal. Thanks for watching, and stay classy, UCF.